Silence is not weakness, it is protection. It is a discipline that very few people ever master, because most people are addicted to noise, addicted to responding, addicted to proving, explaining, defending, and engaging with things that drain their spirit. But the moment you choose silence, the moment you decide that you will no longer waste energy on people, conflicts, opinions, and environments that pull you down, you reclaim your power. You begin to understand that your energy is your most sacred resource, and silence is the shield that guards it. There are people who will misunderstand your silence, but that misunderstanding is not your responsibility. Let them assume. Let them guess. Let them create stories. Your silence does not belong to them. It belongs to you. When you stop defending yourself, you start discovering yourself. When you stop responding to every vibration around you, you start listening to the vibration within you. And that is where true strength is built. True power is not found in loudness, but in the quiet conviction that you do not need the world's approval to keep moving. There comes a point in life when you realize that reacting is overrated. Every reaction costs energy. Every argument takes a piece of your peace. Every unnecessary conversation steals time you could be pouring into your growth. Silence is not an absence of communication. It is a declaration of control. It says, I choose to protect my energy. I choose peace over chaos. I choose growth over distraction. And the moment you make this choice, your life begins to shift. People who are rooted in noise don't understand this shift. They expect you to fight back, respond quickly, defend your perspective, prove your worth. But silence confuses them because it removes their power over you. When you stay silent, they can no longer predict you, manipulate you, or drain you. Silence removes their access. And that is when you begin to rise. There is a darkness in this world that feeds on reaction. It feeds on emotional impulsiveness. It feeds on your anger, your frustration, your fear. But when you choose silence, you starve that darkness. You deny it the fuel it needs. Silence becomes an act of spiritual warfare. It becomes a weapon. It becomes a statement that says, I will not allow your chaos to enter my spirit. And the more you practice it, the more you realize how powerful it is. Power over darkness does not come from shouting louder than the noise around you. It comes from being so grounded, so centered, so focused on your purpose that the noise can't touch you. Darkness loses its hold when you stop feeding it with your reactions. And every time you stay silent, when someone tries to provoke you, you gain a victory that no one else can see. Every time you keep your energy clean, you strengthen your ability to remain unshaken. Silence is the training ground for the soul. People worry about staying quiet because they fear being misunderstood, overlooked, or underestimated. But what they don't realize is that silence makes you unpredictable. Silence makes you mysterious. Silence makes you powerful. When you walk into a room and you don't need to announce yourself, when your presence speaks louder than your words, that is strength. That is maturity. That is power. Some of the most successful people in the world are silent observers. They notice everything but react to nothing. They conserve their energy for what truly matters. That is why they rise, while others remain stuck in cycles of noise. Arrival early is not just about being on time physically. It is about being ahead mentally and spiritually. People who arrive early are not in competition with others. They are in alignment with themselves. They don't rush. They don't scramble. They don't panic. Their silence creates clarity, and that clarity makes them see opportunities before others do. Arrival early is a sign of preparation. It is a sign of discipline. It is a sign that you value your energy enough not to waste it on procrastination or chaos. When you arrive early in life, early in discipline, early in focus, early in growth, you give yourself an advantage that noise-filled people can never compete with. They are busy reacting, you are busy building. They are busy arguing, you are busy evolving. They are busy defending themselves, you are busy improving yourself. Silence protects you from the battlefield of unnecessary competition. It puts you in a lane where the only opponent is the person you were yesterday. There is a profound transformation that happens when you stop allowing everything to access your emotional world. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, the moment you stop engaging with negativity, you begin to glow differently. Your energy becomes pure, your mind becomes sharp, your focus becomes unstoppable, and the world begins to notice, even if you say nothing. Silence protects your energy because it filters your environment. It separates the real from the fake. It reveals who truly understands you and who only understands the version of you that speaks. When you become silent, the wrong people walk away because they can no longer feed off your reactions. The right people stay because they value your presence, not your noise. Silence rearranges your circle without you having to lift a finger. There will always be moments when darkness tries to pull you back into old patterns. Patterns of reacting, defending, proving, explaining. But the stronger your silence becomes, the weaker that darkness gets. You begin to notice that most conflicts end the moment you stop participating in them. Most negativity disappears the moment you withdraw your energy from it. Silence becomes your exit from battles that are beneath you. Some people think silence is passive, but silence is one of the most active forces in personal transformation. In silence you learn, you reflect, you grow, you observe, you listen to yourself, you listen to God, you listen to the whispers of intuition that are drowned by noise. Silence aligns you with your higher self, the one that knows your worth, your purpose, and your path. And once you touch that alignment, nothing external can shake you. Your energy is too precious to waste on arguments with people who are not even on your level. Your time is too valuable to spend trying to prove anything to anyone. Your peace is too sacred to hand over to situations that don't deserve your presence. Silence protects your energy by reminding you that not every action requires a reaction, not every comment deserves a response, not every battle is worth fighting. One of the strongest forms of confidence is choosing silence when you could choose chaos. It shows that you trust yourself. It shows that you trust your path. It shows that you are not moved by temporary emotions or temporary people. Silence means you are focused on the long game, the future, the destiny, the purpose that God has written for you. Every time you stay silent, you protect the blueprint of your life from being influenced by noise. And when you focus on yourself, truly focus on yourself, you begin to understand how much energy you wasted on things that never helped you grow. You realize that the world becomes clearer when you stop trying to impress it. You realize that progress becomes faster when you stop comparing yourself to others. You realize that peace becomes deeper when you stop letting small things disturb a mind meant for greatness. Your silence is not emptiness, it is preparation. It is alignment, it is elevation. People may not understand it now, but eventually they will see the results. They will see the discipline. They will see the transformation. They will see the rise that happened quietly. And that rise will speak louder than anything you could have said. Keep your silence sacred. Protect your energy like it is treasure. Walk your path without explaining every step. Arrive early in discipline, early in growth, early in maturity, and let the world see the results, not the noise. Self-focus is not selfishness. It is the foundation of inner strength. It is the decision to turn your attention inward, to prioritize your growth over the world's expectations, to choose your evolution instead of chasing validation. When you learn to focus on yourself, something powerful begins to happen within you. A quiet strength starts forming, a strength that does not depend on the approval of others, a strength that does not collapse under pressure, a strength that does not break when the world tries to test you. This strength is born from within, and it grows every time you give yourself the attention you once wasted on others. There was a time in your life when you cared too much about opinions, reactions, judgments, and comparisons. You measured your progress by someone else's standards. You questioned your worth because of someone else's success. You doubted your path because of someone else's voice. But once you shift your focus back to yourself, everything begins to align. You realize that your journey was never meant to look like anyone else's. Your pace was never meant to match theirs. Your blessings were never meant for their timeline. Self-focus is the moment you stop competing and start cultivating. Inner strength doesn't come from noise. It comes from discipline. It comes from solitude. It comes from the quiet choices you make when nobody is watching. Every time you push yourself to improve, even when you are tired, you grow. Every time you choose patience instead of anger, you grow. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you grow. Growth is not dramatic. It is subtle, quiet, invisible until it becomes undeniable. That is why self-focus is powerful. It turns your life into a private training ground where your discipline gets sharper, your heart gets stronger, and your mind becomes unshakable. There is a darkness in this world, a darkness that feeds on distraction, comparison, and insecurity. It tries to pull you away from yourself. It wants you lost in other people's lives so that you forget your own. It wants you chasing validation so you ignore your inner voice. But the moment you focus on yourself, you break its spell. You reclaim the power that distraction once stole from you. You stop being controlled by insecurity, and you start being guided by clarity. Darkness loses its grip the moment you stop looking outward and start looking inward. Self-focus teaches you to recognize your weaknesses without fear and your strengths without arrogance. It teaches you to confront your pain instead of running from it. It teaches you to set boundaries that protect your soul instead of letting the world drain you. It teaches you to stand tall even when no one supports you. Inner strength is not the absence of struggle, it is the decision to keep moving despite the struggle. And when your focus is on yourself, you develop the resilience required to walk through storms without losing yourself. There will be people who misunderstand your self-focus. They will say you have changed. They will say you are distant. They will say you are cold. But they do not understand that the transformation happening within you is not meant for their approval. A person who is used to the old version of you will always fear the version of you that no longer needs them for validation. Self-focus forces people to reveal their intentions. The right ones will support your growth. The wrong ones will feel threatened by it. That is why your circle becomes smaller when your inner strength becomes bigger. Arriving early is not just about showing up to a place before others. It is a mindset. It is a way of living. When you begin focusing on yourself, you naturally arrive early in discipline, early in preparation, early in emotional maturity. You are not rushing through life anymore, you are preparing for it. You are not reacting impulsively, you are responding intentionally. You arrive early to your responsibilities, to your goals, to your self-care, and that early arrival is a sign that you value your journey more than the noise around you. People who focus on themselves rarely panic. They rarely fear being left behind. They rarely feel threatened by others because they know that their path is theirs alone. They arrive early because they understand the value of preparation. They know that every day they sharpen their inner strength. They bring themselves closer to their purpose. Arriving early shows commitment. It shows maturity. It shows that you are building a life, not waiting for life to build itself. And this early arrival becomes one of the strongest signs of your transformation. Self-focus makes you see your life with clarity. You begin to recognize how much power you wasted giving attention to things that never mattered. You see how many battles you fought that were not yours. You understand how many times you gave energy to people who never deserved it. And once this awareness enters your life, you stop living on autopilot. You start taking deliberate steps. You start choosing what nourishes you. You start protecting your peace with a seriousness you never had before. That is the birth of inner strength. Inner strength is built in silence, but it shows itself loudly. It shows when you stay calm during chaos. It shows when you forgive people who tried to break you. It shows when you walk away instead of arguing. It shows when you remain disciplined, even when you feel discouraged. It shows when you trust yourself, even when the world doubts you. Inner strength is invisible until life forces you to use it. Then suddenly, everyone sees the warrior you have become. When your focus is scattered across the world, you lose yourself. When your focus returns to you, you find yourself, you begin to hear your own thoughts. You begin to understand your own needs. You begin to respect your emotions. And that self-respect becomes the foundation of confidence, boundaries, purpose, and peace. You stop chasing people because you finally see your value. You stop explaining yourself because you finally trust your decisions. You stop proving your worth because you finally know it. Self-focus brings you home to yourself. You cannot build inner strength while living for others. You cannot find your path while walking someone else's. You cannot discover your truth while drowning in someone else's expectations. Self-focus is not about ignoring the world. It is about prioritizing your soul. It is about giving